bit. My name is Luis Ornelas. I am an alum of the Simon Scholars Program, as Janeth mentioned, and I graduated from Santa Fe High in 2014. And I'm just really thankful for you all for having me, especially to Janeth and Anissa for the really great honor of having the opportunity to speak with you all today. To our scholars. Scholars, I know that this celebration, like many other things that you were all looking forward to over the past year, is not quite the one that you imagined. But the fact that this ceremony to celebrate you, to celebrate your brilliance, to celebrate all of your hard work, the fact that it's not happening in person does not make this moment mean any less. If anything, the incredible determination that you all have shown as you have navigated a senior year like no other in history serves as a reminder to me and to all of those around you that you are capable of achieving anything that you set your minds to. So truly, truly, from the bottom of my heart, Simon Scholars Class of 2021, congratulations. I invite each and every one of you to take a moment to think about all of the moments that have led to you being where you are right now. For me, my story begins with my parents, who were both born in different parts of Mexico. As goes the story of many immigrants, they both traded the places that they loved and they had always known as home for the promise of something better. Rumors of opportunity in the US reached their ears, and hoping that these rumors were true, they risked absolutely everything they had to jump onto moving trains and to swim across rivers to come to the US. They met in Santa Fe almost by accident, and they started a family. And just like that, Santa Fe became our home, and it became the place that shaped who we are today. Both of my parents held physically taxing jobs in hotels and apartment complexes as long as I can remember, and they took pride in their work. As a child at the time, my schoolwork became not only a reflection of me and who I was, but also a reflection of my parents and all the sacrifices that they had to make in order for me to even have an opportunity to go to school and to learn. Despite the pride that I took in my schoolwork, college was a foreign concept to me. You see, neither of my parents had finished their formal education because they had to work to support their families. Our family friends and all of the elders in my family had pretty similar stories. The reality that each of the adults in my family were born into made finishing high school and going to college seem impossible for anyone who looked like me. As a result, despite the fact that I loved school, I was convinced that I would never go to college. That's because it's really, really hard to be what you can't see. Luckily, in high school, I found incredible teachers who cared about me and my potential. Eventually, my goals and my ambition would take off. From freshman year to junior year, I went from not being sure about going to college at all to knowing that I wanted to go to an Ivy League university to become a lawyer who fought to protect the rights of the most vulnerable. But the path to get into my dream school wasn't going to be easy. Think about your own journey and all the challenges and all of the hurdles that you've had to overcome in order to get to this point right now. At the time, I was going to need help as the first person in my family to navigate the tricky admissions process. And I knew that paying for school was something that my parents weren't going to be able to do for me. The challenges that I knew I would face on my journey to make my dreams a reality are why I applied to the Simon Scholarship. With the help of the Simon Scholarship and my teachers and my family, I ended up at Stanford, where I majored in urban studies, which is the perfect major for someone with interest in sociology, political science, and cities. In the same way, in some ways, like my parents did when they left Mexico so many years ago, going to Stanford for me also meant leaving all that I knew behind. It required being 900 miles away from family, learning to navigate a world that was unlike anything I knew, and it took some time to adjust to this new world. The biggest challenge early on in college was trusting that I belonged at Stanford and that I was in the right place. During my freshman year, I made myself small. In class discussions, I would frequently bite my tongue out of a fear that what I had to say would not sound intelligent. When I did eventually begin sharing my thoughts, I would rehearse my comment over and over in my head, hoping that I wouldn't make a mistake or stutter when it came my turn to speak. Unfortunately, this feeling never fully went away from me. Yes, it's true that over time, I've learned to trust myself a little bit more. And with that comes being more confident and feeling less like an imposter. But the truth is that the worlds that you're each about to step into will at times make you doubt yourself. If there is only one thing that you carry away from today, let it be this. When this happens, when you notice yourself retreating into yourself, making yourself small, and doubting your genius, remember this quote by Sandra Cisneros. It says, "I've put up with too much too long, and now I'm too intelligent, too powerful, too beautiful, too sure of who I am finally to deserve anything else." When I look at this screen full of 2021 Simon Scholars, I can't think of a more true statement than this one to apply to each and every one of you. My story is just one example of the obstacles that young people in New Mexico face every single day to make their dreams a reality. You all have made progress toward your own dreams in the midst of a global pandemic that has completely transformed how we live our lives. By the time you all get to college, you will have been through too much to not believe that you're intelligent, that you are powerful, and that you are beautiful. Right now, our worlds need you more than ever. Over the past year, the world has seen a level of suffering like it has not seen in a long time. And it needs you to step up as the next generation of doctors that will continue finding ways to provide life-saving treatments to people. It needs teachers who are ready to teach the next generation to go even further than we did. It needs lawyers, and it needs artists, it needs engineers, and it needs mathematicians. It needs whatever you decide to be, as long as you see the value that you bring to the table by nature of being you. This journey to become the person you want to be takes time, and it takes you trusting yourself. But thankfully, like most things in life, you don't have to do it alone. Wherever you go, look for your people. Find the people who you can be yourself around. Find the people who share your values and your goals. Find the people who you can turn to after a difficult day, who will help build you back up after the world has torn you down. Before I leave you, I want to take a moment to reground ourselves in our community. In addition to the friends you will make along the way, don't forget about all the people who have helped you so far. Don't forget to thank your peers and your friends, your teachers, and your Simon staff. But maybe even more importantly, don't forget to thank your families. I described the sacrifices my parents made for me to be where I am today. But the truth is that not once did any family member describe them as a sacrifice. But even though they might not see loving and supporting you as a no-brainer, take the time to acknowledge that in this world, we never do anything without the help of those who love and care for us. Lastly, whether you go out of state, whether you stay in state, or whether you go down the road for college, remember to come home. Remember earlier when I said that it's hard to be what you can't see? Well, when you do become who you want to be, come back home so that others can see you. This is one way that change happens in our communities. When people who have lived the lives that we have lived come back and demand change, great things can happen. You can't forget where you came from, so please, please don't forget to come back. Once again, Simon Scholars Class of 2021, congratulations. Everyone here today is so, so proud of you. Thank you.